Another day, another female teacher messing around with her student. So this time we have Stefanie Kelsey, and she is out of Iowa, and she was sentenced for sexual abuse of a student. Keep in mind, they call it sexual abuse, and I said what they don't call it, which is violations of a student. A former teacher for a Northwest Iowa community school district has been sentenced to prison for sexual abuse and sexual exploitation charges. According to the Sac County Attorney's Office, Stefanie Kelsey, age 35, was a former East Sac County high school teacher. In 2022, she was charged with multiple sexual abuse charges involving one of her students, a 15-year-old male. Authorities say the offenses happened in March 2022. Kelsey entered a guilty plea, which we know what that means, for two of her charges, one count of third-degree sexual abuse and one count of sexual exploitation by a school employee. Several of her other charges were dropped as a part of the plea. Kelsey is to serve 10 years in prison for both charges. Well, I'm actually shocked that she's actually going to be getting that much time, considering, she's a white woman. Let's put all the cards on the table. She's a white woman in America. But again, she still had the privilege of not being charged with being a violator. That's number one. Number two, I have a feeling that if she was a man, she would have gotten hit with more charges, even if she did take a plea deal, and probably would have got more time. But then again, if it was a white man, probably, I don't know, they probably could have let them skate on by, as we have seen with people such as Brock Turner, and then y'all saw the one I did about Sean Hogg, even though that was over in Scotland, but still. So he probably would have got a slap on the wrist too, but you never know. The only shocking thing to me was the fact that this woman got 10 years. So she's 35 now. She'll be out when she's 45 unless they decide to release her early for quote unquote good behavior. But there's another thing I noticed too that I didn't see in here that I also noticed that they don't tend to do when it's a woman committing these type of acts. And that is putting her on the sex offenders list or the registry. I didn't see anywhere in this article that I read, and it was a short one, that says she has to register as a sex offender. It didn't say that she has to register as one going in, nor did it mention saying that she had to register as one when she gets out. It doesn't say it. And she should be on there because that's what she did. This woman was messing around with a 15-year-old boy. That's nothing to just kind of like brush off. I mean, I know they probably want to, but you just simply can't do it. So she's getting protection in that regard. And the thing is, because this is a small story, or maybe on a local level, when she gets out, all she got to do is change her looks. Well, her looks will most likely change because, that's 10 years. But change it up a little bit more so where she doesn't look too recognizable, and she could blend right back in with society and act like nothing happened. Again, she'll be 45 if she does serve out her entire sentence. She'll be 45. She'll still be relatively young. It's not like she's doing 20 years where her age will change almost drastically. But yeah, she didn't get hit with the register for a sex offender, and they didn't charge her with what she should have been charged with, which was violations. Now, I wonder what those other charges were. Remember, she pled guilty, so we don't know what the other charges were that she had that eventually got dropped. She got hit with probably the lower tier charges, which means she got less time. So imagine if she had the rest of the charges attached to her, what it would have been and how much more time she would have had to serve.